Alright, now you understand what these tools are and where they break down. Let's talk about how to actually use them. This module is about prompting, that is, the skill of giving Gen AI clear and effective instructions. Prompt engineering sounds technical, but it's really just this: designing effective instructions. You're crafting your questions and contexts in a way that helps the AI understand what you actually need. The clearer you are, the better your results. I'll be using Google's Gemini for these examples, but everything here applies to ChatGPT, Claude, or any other chatbot. The principles are the same. Every good prompt has three core elements. First, what you want, the task itself. What are you trying to have the AI do? Second, how you want it done, the approach, the constraints, the style, or even the structure. Third, how you want to interact. Is this a one-off request, a back and forth, or are you asking it to check with you before proceeding? When you're clear on all three, you get dramatically better results. Here is a useful mental model. Communicate like you would with a smart, capable colleague who just started today. They are intelligent, they follow instructions, but they know nothing about you, your publication, your beat, your preferences, or what you've been working on. Don't assume social cues carry over. Don't assume they know what good looks like to you. Spell it out. One technical concept worth exploring is the context window. This is essentially how much text the AI can process at once. Think of it as the AI's working memory for the current conversation. It includes everything: your prompt, any document you've pasted in, and the AI's previous responses. If you paste in a very long document, or if your conversation goes on for a while, you may hit the limits of that window. When that happens, the AI starts forgetting earlier parts of the conversation. For practical purposes, if you're working with long documents, break them into chunks. And if a conversation goes unwieldy, sometimes it's better to start afresh. Now, let's get concrete. Here are 6 fundamental prompting techniques that will improve your result immediately. First, define the roles. Tell the AI who it should be. This could shape how it responds. For example, you're an experienced investigative journalist helping me identify holes in my sourcing. Or, you're an editor focused on clarity and concision. When you give the AI a role, it adjusts its tone, focus, and the kind of feedback it provides. This is something called role-based prompting, and it's actually one of the most effective techniques out there. Second, provide context. Don't just ask a question. Tell the AI what you are, why you need this, and what you're trying to accomplish, and who the output is for. Compare these two prompts. The bad one: summarize this report. Even better: I'm a local government reporter writing for a general audience. I need a 200-word summary of this budget report that highlights the 3 biggest changes from last year. The summary should be accessible to readers with no financial background. The second prompt gives the AI everything it needs to actually help you. Third, break down complex tasks. If you have a complicated request, don't just dump it in all one prompt. Break it into steps. For example, I'd like you to analyze this document. Please approach it in this way. First, identify 3 largest spending categories. Second, compare this year's figures to last year's. Third, flag any anomalies or unusual patterns. When you structure the task, the AI is far more likely to give you something useful. Fourth, give the AI space to think. This is called chain of thought prompting. Instead of asking it for an immediate answer, ask the AI to reason through the problem first. You can do this with simple phrases like think through this step by step before giving your answer, or before you respond, consider the strengths and weaknesses of each option. This is especially useful for complex questions where you want the AI to consider multiple angles rather than just jumping into a quick response. Fifth, offer examples. If you have a specific format or style in mind, show it to the AI. Don't just describe what you want, demonstrate it. This is called few shot prompting. Few shots just means you're giving the AI a few examples to learn from. For example, here's an example of a headline I like. You place the example, now write 5 headlines in that style for the story. When you show the AI what good looks like, it can match the pattern much more reliably than if you just described it. Sixth, specify output constraints. Tell the AI exactly what you want the output to look like: length, format, tone, structure. For example, give me 3 bullet points, each under 25 words, or write this in AP style, no more than 150 words, with a focus on the human impact. If you don't specify constraints, the AI will guess. Sometimes it guesses right. Often it doesn't. Save yourself the back and forth by being explicit. Alright, that's the theory. Now let's see what these look like in practice. I'm going to show you 2 prompts. Same general topic, very different results. Here is a bad prompt. Write me something about climate change for my article. Look at what comes back. It's kind of generic, it's broad, but it doesn't know what angle you need, what audience you're writing for, how long it should be, or what formats would help you. So the AI is guessing, and when it guesses, sometimes you get something you can't use. Now, here is a better prompt. You're an environmental journalist research assistant. I'm writing an 800-word explainer for a local newspaper audience about how climate change affects Midwest farming. Give me 5 specific recent impacts I should cover, with suggested sources for each. Keep each point to 2 to 3 sentences. Look at the difference. The AI knows exactly its role. It knows its audience. It knows the format. It knows the constraints. The output is focused, specific, and actually useful. Same tool, completely different results. The only difference is the prompt. Let's talk about common mistakes. These trip up almost everyone at first. First mistake: overloading one prompt with too many tasks. The AI handles complexity better when you break things into steps. One messy prompt usually produces one big messy output. Second mistake: being vague about what success looks like. If you don't know what you want, the AI definitely doesn't know. Get specific before you prompt. Third, not giving feedback on previous responses. If the AI gives you something close but not quite right, don't just reprompt from scratch. Tell it what is good, what was off, and what to adjust. The AI learns within the conversation. Prompting is iterative. Also, as these tools improve, the way we communicate with them becomes even more conversational. But you won't always nail it on the first time. Ask variations, try different formats, Play around with it. Check the AI's confidence level by asking it to explain its reasoning. And when the conversation gets confused or cluttered, reset. Start a fresh chat and apply what you've learned. Don't assume the AI can read your mind. It can't. It's just a machine. But with clear, structured prompts, it can be remarkably useful. Alright, now you have a framework for prompting effectively. Next, we're going to put this into practice. Module 4 covers how to use AI for research and news gathering, the part of the job where these tools can save you real time if you use them carefully. See you in Module 4.